What up, YouTube? It's your boy RJ back at you again. Alright, y'all. So I seen this video and I thought it was cool. So I just want to see what it'll be like, and I just want to watch what's up. So it's called so this is by Comment Lads. It's called If Ben 10 had a Marvel Rivals style game, which would be freaking fire, bro. Like what? But yeah, let's get straight into it. But before I do, hit the play button, you gotta leave a like, comment down below what y'all see we got to next, and leave your thoughts and opinions, and turn on the post notification bell, and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. We greatly appreciate it if you want more videos like this.
Marvel Rivals has easily become one of our favorite games in the last year, and it's always got us thinking, what if we applied the same formula that NetEase has created, but with a different franchise?
And today, we're looking at Ben 10. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Thomas.
I'm Merlin.
Together we're the Comic Lads, and today, we're asking the question, what if Ben 10 Marvel Rivals?
And we're creating our own roster. Guys, before we get into it, we of course want to hear from you. We have our own picks for today's video, but we want to know which characters would you want included in a hypothetical Ben 10 Marvel Rivals style game, and what would their roles be?
And before we get into it, guys, be sure to drop a like on the video. It really helps us out. And subscribe if you haven't already, and become one with the Ben Lads.
The Ben Lads. I love talking about Ben 10. It's one of the best superhero franchises outside of the big two, Marvel and...
Exactly, that the people who create that, just the media in general, is letting die. Like, why are you letting this gold mine die, bro? Why haven't we gotten another Ben 10 game, like an open world Ben 10 game somewhat similar to Spider-Man, or even a game just like Marvel Rivals, just like about the video we about to watch? Why haven't we got, or even another series where Ben is older, like he's like in his mid-20s or something? Why haven't we gotten nothing like that, bro? The industry is just letting Ben 10 die, and that's not okay, and that's not acceptable. But anyway, we're gonna watch this video about the Marvel Rivals community, about Ben 10 being a Marvel Rivals style game. But anyway, I'm gonna shut up. Let's go.
And it deserves to be in the conversation more.
It definitely does. And for this video, we're not just looking at, Ben 10 Classic. We're drawing inspiration from also Ben 10 Alien Force and Ultimate Alien. And slight disclaimer, Ben himself won't be included as a character. We almost see him as a type of avatar that you start up matches with. And when you click an alien or character to load into, maybe he slams on the Omnitrix and turns into that character when loading in. Starting things off with a Vanguard, we're talking about our boy, Four Arms.
Arguably the most iconic Ben 10 alien, I would say.
I would say he's like the poster child of the entire franchise.
For sure.
So as a Vanguard...
I mean, well, you could always say the same thing for Heat Blast as well, because when you think about it, Heat Blast is the very first alien that Ben turned into.
We were thinking he could have an ability similar to the Things, leap ability. He could leap to allies or enemies. You were mentioning a cool grab ability.
Yeah, I really would want them to kind of implement his forearms in his gameplay. And similar to Rogue, where she has kind of a grab ability, I would want two of the arms to grab you and the other arms to be free to punch you during the grab animation.
Yeah, and kind of constrict you.
Exactly.
I would see a lot of wrestler move animations, kind of like how he fights in the actual show itself.
Yeah, a lot of elbow drops.
Oh yeah, even an elbow drop as an ult would be so cool. He jumps up in the air and then smashes down on whoever's beneath him. And as a tank, the role is very centered around defensive capabilities, especially covering damage for allies.
Definitely.
And so he could have an ability where his arms kind of go up to block damage, and he can create a shield to protect himself and his allies.
Definitely. For our next entry, we're looking at another Vanguard, and now we're talking about Diamond Head.
Diamond Head, the GOAT, bro.
My GOAT.
My favorite alien of all time.
I love Diamond Head
he's
too,
my
but
second GOAT.
Yeah, yours is
he's my second
right?
GOAT.
Yeah. I think as a Vanguard, I mean, this character in some ways is almost more durable than Four Arms.
Yeah.
Obviously, his namesake, he has an extremely hard diamond exterior shell. We would see him kind of have a Groot style ability.
Yeah, we'd want him to have the ability to uproot walls made of crystal, reminiscent of Groot's tree walls in Marvel Rivals.
And for his ult, he could have a Metapod hardened defensive ability.
Nice.
Use Harden!
He becomes super hard, bro.
Yeah,
Hey,
what's Diamond
yo.
Head's ult? He gets hard.
Yeah. Next up on the list, our first duelist, we have the Speedster GOAT.
Yeah, arguably the GOAT
Yeah.
of the OG10. He wasn't our ranking video.
We are talking about Accelerate.
No, we do.
And it's crazy how Accelerate was one of the best characters in the original series, and they kind of just put this dude on the back burner in Ultimate Alien, Alien Force, and Omniverse. I think you've seen Accelerate in Omniverse like maybe a couple times. You didn't even see him in freaking Omniverse. I mean, you seen him in Omniverse like I think once or twice. You didn't even see this dude in Ultimate Alien. You didn't even see him in Alien Force, and in Ultimate Alien, they basically replaced bro pretty much with Fast Track, somebody who's not even that fast. And Fast Track is supposed to be fast, but he's not even that fast, and Accelerate is still faster than him. That I ain't gonna lie, that's one thing that really made me upset and that really pissed me off. That they basically freaking replaced Accelerate with Fast Track.
You see Accelerate as a duelist strategist hybrid. Obviously, he would be super fast, but I don't think he should be able to do crazy damage because I do think there's a risk of making him broken with his speed.
Yeah, we're thinking he could have an ability sort of reminiscent of the Tron movies where, you know, those bikes create an after image of the bike itself that then does damage if you go into their trail.
Yeah, their speed trail kind of hardens.
And for him, if you go into a speed trail, maybe it gives you some regenerative abilities.
And deals damage to enemies that pass through it.
Yeah, or slows them down. Maybe it'd be a bit too broken, actually. I don't know.
And for Accelerate's ult, we're giving him a classic Flash move, the Speed Tornado. You know, he'll run in a circle in a certain vicinity of the map and maybe makes his enemies float in the air for a few seconds.
Yeah, as well as healing the allies.
For our next entry, we're talking about my GOAT, Heat Blast. Now, he'd be a duelist. His main attack would be fireballs.
He would legit just be like a Johnny Storm clone, let's be real.
Yeah, he'd be Johnny Storm, but like minus the flight.
Yeah, we were thinking maybe he could have like a glide ability with like the fire cloud. Very reminiscent of like Goku.
Yeah,
You
like
know?
the Nimbus cloud.
Yeah.
And, you know, for his ult, it would be a supernova again. Like, listen, it's not too original, but when you have fire powers, I feel like there's not, like, crazy amounts of innovation to do.
Yeah, fire powers are so sick, but also like, what else can you really do with them besides burn people? You know? Next up, we are not just looking at aliens, guys. We have some characters spanning all the other shows as well. Some human characters. In this case, we're talking about Gwen, and she's a strategist. There's going to be someone in the comments being like,
most
actually,
definitely.
she's half alien. You guys don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh yeah, most
She
definitely
would,
want to
of
be a
course,
strategist.
be a strategist. I mean, it goes without saying she has so many magic abilities. She could have like a healing ray. She has levitation. She can make different kind of, you know, Adam Eve damage block constructs.
Let's be real, she's Adam Eve.
Yeah, she is. And you had a great idea for her.
Yeah, let's be real. Gwen is basically just Loki, Adam Eve, but better. And to me, Gwen is better because I mean, Adam Eve is overpowered, but she don't use her power the way she should.
She could even transform into her grandmother's alien race and just becomes fucking all-powerful.
And in her ult state, she can make everyone either invincible for a few seconds or take like greatly reduced damage for a few seconds.
Yeah, I'd see it as like a great counter ult.
Next up, we're sticking with the Ben 10, more human/alien allies, and we're looking at Kevin 11. He would be a Vanguard, kind of reminiscent of Rogue.
Yeah, I mean, they have very similar abilities, a lot of like energy absorption. But for this, we were also thinking that he could have like 3 different metals that he could turn into.
Yeah, they give him like kind of like a little flexibility in his moveset.
Yeah, like one metal could be like a speed boost, one could be a damage boost, and another one could be a defensive boost.
Definitely. And for Kevin 11's moveset, we are thinking of him being more in his alien force form where he has more control over his powers. But for his ult, we want to pull back to the original series and have him just transform into that nasty kind of hybrid monster when he touches the Omnitrix and becomes like all 10 aliens at once.
Yeah, just throw some fan service in there.
Why not?
Next up, guys, of course, we gotta have a villain in there, and we are talking about the main villain of the entire series, Vilgax.
My
Of course,
dog.
he'd have to be a Vanguard.
My boy.
Even though this guy gets his ass beat pretty much every season, you know, he is a very formidable opponent for Ben.
Well, he comes back every time.
Exactly. He'd have a lot of invulnerability, damage reduction style abilities. Maybe he could have like a passive.
And I'm still kind of upset that in the later series, like Omniverse and Ultimate Alien and all that, they literally toned down Vilgax, bro. Why you couldn't just give us this version, the original version of Vilgax, in the rest of the series, bro? Like, he's supposed to be the main villain, bro.
healing ability. This is a character that's always defeated and then comes back stronger.
For his basic attacks, he could wield a sword, and you had a great idea for his ult where he just summons a massive, like, Lex Luthor unibeam from his spaceship, kind of reminiscent of Injustice.
Yeah, his spaceship is always, like, front and center on whatever battlefield he's on, I feel. So
It's almost like his main weapon. For our next character, we're taking a look at Ghost Freak. And for Ghost Freak, we're thinking he'll be a strategist with a lot of phasing abilities, kind of like Martian
Okay,
Manhunter.
yeah, that
he
can
can
make
phase
sense.
through walls and maybe allies as well, which would heal when phasing through them.
yeah, and I think he'd be kind of like a little shit in the same way that the Invisible Woman is. Like, you try to get too close to him to deal some damage, and he can just, like, turn invisible to escape, you know?
That's like the bane of my existence in
It's-
every game.
Guang Guang, please. We
Yeah.
need a patch ASAP.
We do.
And for his ult, maybe he could spread that ability to all of his other allies as well, granting them a kind of intangibility ability. Intangibility ability. Sticking with the strategist, we are looking at another villain and a character that isn't an alien, Darkstar. So this is a character he's a bit of a creep.
Yeah,
You know?
let's be
most
real, he's a
definitely.
creep.
He was at the Diddy parties for sure.
Yeah,
he's a
definitely.
Diddy blood.
Yeah, he is. If you don't know what this character's all about, he has a lot of absorption ability and kind of lifesteal style powers.
Yeah, he kind of like kidnaps young people to kind of like drain their life force and make himself young again, right?
Yeah, exactly. And maybe this character could be kind of like a duelist hybrid, where the more life he steals from his enemies, the more life he grants to his allies.
Nice.
So it's a character that you have to play offensively and defensively with. Kind of a nice middle ground.
Yeah, and we're giving him a little bit of a Doctor Strange move as well, because he does have the ability to create portals, and I think that's a fun ability to throw in this type of game. Diving back into the OG 10 aliens, we're taking a look at an underrated favorite of both of ours, I think, and it's Wild Mutt. I'm seeing him kind of having a...
Walmart was never really my favorite. I mean, because he didn't. Not because I didn't like his design. His design was definitely cool, and I definitely messed with it. But he didn't really do anything. He's literally just a giant, basically just a giant alien mutt dog thing.
moveset like Daredevil, because, you know,
They're both blind.
they're both blind.
We're so
Dang.
original, dude. Yeah, he's got to see through walls. He's got to be able to lock onto targets. Basically, just take Daredevil and replace him with Wild Mutt.
Quite literally, yes.
Yeah.
And maybe make him a bit more agile. Like, he can cling to walls and not just run up them, but also, like, hang there like an animal, and give him some dive capabilities where he, like, jumps on your face and scratches it to ribbons like a raccoon or something.
Yeah, it would kind of be a mix of, like, Venom's playstyle mixed with Daredevil's playstyle. Sticking with duelists, next up we got Stinkfly. Now, I don't really particularly like this character.
But you do have to have, like, kind of like a shitty, gross character on the roster, you know?
Yeah, and he would obviously be flying around. He'd have a lot of goop-based attacks, you know, goop traps and puddles, maybe akin to, like, Penny's mines. You could, like, create, like, little traps through doorways that you walk through that then explode and slow you down or trap you for a few seconds.
Yeah, for sure. You could create poison trails as well that, like, chip damage off you if you get covered
Ew.
in the poison.
Yeah,
Ew.
he'd be, like, more of a defensive duelist, I feel.
I think so.
Yeah.
And then his ult, it just makes, like, a nasty, like, goop puddle.
He just sneezes on you, basically.
Yeah. Next up, another
just
personal
sneezes on
favorite
you,
of
that's
ours,
funny.
and I think a lot of people's, we got Cannonbolt. Obviously, he's a healer. No, I'm kidding. He's obviously a Vanguard. But he would have certain abilities like Jeff from Marvel Rivals.
And Jeff, of course, if you don't know, he has a swimming mobility move where he kind of goes into the ground, becomes invulnerable, regains some health, then pops back up to either heal some allies or do some damage to enemies. And in the same way,
Excuse me,
Cannonbolt would have that with traversing the battlefield in his roly-poly mode, I'm gonna say.
In his Cannonball form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in that form, obviously, he's got to have the mobility boost, damage
most
boost,
definitely.
defensive boost, all that. But for a drawback, there'd be a cooldown when he gets out of that mode.
Definitely, because we need to keep things a little balanced here.
Yeah, for sure.
And then for his ult, we were thinking he would charge up in his cannonball form, sort of like Sonic the Hedgehog, and be able to plow through enemies and run over them with a significant speed boost.
It reminds me a bit of Magneto's ult, where there's like a charge up time limit, and the more you charge, the higher the damage.
Yeah, but there's a greater risk because it gives people more time to prepare for your ult.
Next up, we got Wildvine. This is a kind of underrated character, I'm gonna say. Very interesting moveset. We would see him at
We never really saw much of Wildvine in like Ultimate Alien or Omniverse, or even Alien Force.
as a duelist, and if you guys have seen the show, you know that he's basically just Spider-Man. He swings on his vines. Maybe he has an ability reminiscent of Mantis's sleep ability.
Nice.
This is a character that can drop like spore bombs on you and just knock you out.
And we're thinking, for his ult, it would be a move reminiscent of Groot in Marvel Rivals, where he would spawn vines and tendrils that would pull enemies in while doing damage.
Just another case of us ripping directly off Marvel Rivals itself. This would just be a Groot ult, let's be real.
100%, shamelessly.
Yeah.
Moving back to the strategist side of things, we got another fan favorite, Big Chill. Now, we're thinking he would have an Ultron type ability where he would spawn his like weird baby Big Chill aliens to follow you around and heal you or your allies. Obviously, he would have ice beams, freezing abilities.
And with his ice powers, his ult could be a snowstorm ability, which sweeps the battlefield, blinds enemies, and heals allies.
And also, since we got a cold character in here, gotta have a team up with Heat Blast where he makes Heat Blast become cold, like that one episode.
That'd be so sick.
He's so sick.
Next up, a duelist character and a very uniquely designed alien. We are talking about Eye Guy. This is a character that we were thinking could kind of have a perk. I don't remember what it's from. It's from one of the Call of Duties where there'll be a little blinking indicator on the sides of your screen when someone is outside of your field of view.
Nice.
This character, of course, if you know him, he has eyes all over his body, so he has omnidirectional vision.
Nice.
Nothing sneaks up on him, and he would be kind of like another dive character, you know, could jump down, deal some damage to strategist.
Yeah, that's another character I just noticed. I think they got rid of him, or I think if we did see him, if I remember correctly, I think we saw him like one time in Omniverse, but it was like one freaking time. I don't really like that. I don't like how they give you one alien in the classic series and then you just never really see them again too much in the later series, like Omniverse and Ultimate Alien. I don't really like that, but
jump back out when someone peels off to defend them.
And then for his ult, we're ripping it straight from the cartoon, where he has this ability to close all of the eyes on his body except for one and channel all of his energy into that one eye and release kind of a massive unibeam. Next up, we're dipping our toes back into the villain pool, and we're looking at one of my personal favorite villains from the Ben 10 universe, and that's Dr. Animo. Now, he would be a duelist, and basically all of his abilities wouldn't really be centered around him so much as different animals that he spawns.
Yeah, like 3 different animal abilities. Each one spawns, you know, let's say a traversal ability. He could hop on the back of some kind of winged monster, gain some flight for a few seconds with a cooldown following that. And when he doesn't have an ability / animal summoned, he would just have like a basic kind of low damage shooting gun attack.
Yeah, reminiscent of Bruce Banner.
And for his ult, he had a great idea. Maybe he could transform into the future Ben 10,008 version of himself. 5 to 10 seconds, get a massive damage / damage reduction boost, and just mess up the battlefield.
100%. Next up, sticking with the villains, we're looking at Charmcaster. Now, this would be a character pretty similar to Gwen.
One of my
She would be a
favorite Ben 10
strategist,
villains.
But we're thinking of giving her a bit more mobility because she does have the ability to teleport. And that's something we haven't even seen yet in the likes of Marvel Rivals itself, which I think would be really cool.
And with that, we have another Ultron-style health ability where she summons one of her little, like, demon dogs. Maybe it can follow you around and grant either damage reduction or healing over time. And along with that, just for the little extra broken Guang Guang style healing ability, she would also have energy protection lightning bolts that heal allies as well as damage enemies.
Yeah,
And for her ult, we were
she
kind of
would be
struggling
fire.
to think of what her ult would be until we remembered that one episode where she transformed into a dragon, and that's literally ripe for an ult. She would have the ability.
There's an episode where she transformed into a dragon. I must have missed this. I might have to figure out where I can watch this, because Charmcaster is definitely one of my favorite Ben 10 villains.
To heal allies and do damage to enemies with her fire breathing.
Absolutely. Sticking again with the villains, we got a few in a row for you guys. This is a very unique character, one of the best designed foes that Ben has to face in Ben 10 Classic. We were talking about 6'6". I mean, this guy, bounty hunter, he's got to be a duelist. And we were thinking basically just take Iron Man's gameplay, take Star-Lord's gameplay, and combine them into one.
Yeah, make a little baby out of it.
I'm just picturing like pregnant
yo.
Tony Stark right now.
I'm
Hey,
now
yo.
picturing pregnant Henry Cavill, you know, with like the Godzilla behind him.
Oh god.
Yeah.
So a
Yeah.
lot of range style abilities. He can go in and out of the battlefield in the same way that Star-Lord can. And for his ult, maybe he just goes into overdrive in the same way he does as well.
Yeah, kind of like a mix of Star-Lord and Spider-Man where they spins around in a circle and just rains bullets all over the battlefield. Moving back into the Vanguard category, we got a character that had to be a tank, and we're looking at Humongousaur. Now, I mean, Humongousaur
most
doesn't
definitely,
have
of
like
course.
too much in his kit. He is kind of just a big brute, but the one unique thing he does have is his ability to change his size.
And what we're thinking for that is the more damage he takes from enemies, the bigger he gets, so the more damage he can output. So it's kind of like a risk-reward style character. The more you go in and try to expose yourself and deal damage to enemies, you open the possibility of getting taken down, but you also open the possibility of steamrolling through the enemy team.
And for his ultimate ability, literally just make him giant and stomp on the battlefield.
Yeah.
It's as easy as that.
Just step on people. The last character we were talking about, yes, this list only includes about 20 characters. We could go through every alien that's ever been existed, but this video would then take like hours to go through. We were talking about Grandpa Max, and we had two ideas for him. One, he could be a tank in the game / Vanguard, or he could be the game announcer in the same way that Galacta is. This is a character that is kind of the guy in the chair for
He could, but he would probably be just as annoying as Galacta, even though Galacta is definitely probably more annoying, but still he could be annoying at
Ben
sometimes too.
throughout a lot of the series. You know, he's in his ear, he guides him through different scenarios.
He gives him, I want to say, most of the wisdom he gains throughout the show.
Yeah, and I want him to say like, well, you can't expect to win them all when you lose.
But also, Grandpa Max throws down. He's a washer.
He is a washer.
Actually, he's a plumber.
And with the Plumber Society, you also have a lot of cool mech style gears. You got a lot of guns, a lot of, you know, bionic style implants that he has embedded in his body. We'd have to factor all those different things into it. And as a little inside joke to the fans, maybe his ult is he just force feeds you his horrendous food.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
If you know, you know.
Hey,
Everyone
yo,
gets
bro.
sick on the battlefield.
Everyone just
hey,
starts
yo,
puking.
that's
Guys,
crazy.
those are our 20 picks for characters / aliens / villains that we'd want to see in a Ben 10 rival style game.
Obviously, we couldn't get to everyone in the Ben 10 universe. If there's anyone you think we missed that needs to be in this hypothetical game, let us know in the comments down below, and let us know if you liked our picks as well.
If you
A dope video about a comment last for the Ben 10 Mama rival style game. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want more videos similar to this, please leave a like, comment down below what you want to see me react to next, and leave your thoughts and opinions, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more. I greatly appreciate it. And with that being said, it's been your boy RJ. I'm catch you on the next one.